Okay, so this video is a little cobbled together because I accidentally deleted some video footage, but this is basically what I did over a sort of a 3-day period last week, and it just shows you some of the progress that I've made. And this is all the work that was done, and today definitely tackling these juniper trees. Let's have a look. So I decided to keep just the back two. The decision for this was I just wasn't confident or comfortable enough in cutting down that big tree. Looking at it now, it probably would have been fine. I probably could have cut it down and it would have fallen in a straight line onto the plot, but I didn't feel up to it. I didn't feel confident that I was going to be able to do that, but it's fine. I mean, it should branch out now that it's opened up. It should branch out quite nicely, and it, you know, it still looks a bit picturesque. And then round the front, these are all of the juniper trees that have come down. So it's a lot, and it opens up the whole front of the shed. I'll go around the other side so we can actually get in behind into the side of the shed. In total it was 6 juniper trees that I brought down. So what have I found? I have found a lot of slate, which is actually pretty amazing. All of these old slate tiles. And why I'm excited about slate tiles is that they can be used for a number of things. Like round the allotment, my shed, oh wow. The rain drives into the base and underneath. What that does is the water pools and it can rot. And for a technique we learnt, me and my family learnt when we lived in Hungary, because we lived there for 8 years, was along the base of your shed, if you can get to it, you lay tiles like that. And that means when the rain drives against it, it literally just falls onto the slate and off and away from your base. And then they've got these massive bits of slate here. Sorry, I'm like a magpie when it comes to like reclaimed stone and slate and things like that. I love it. And then another amazing find. And look, even though they've been out here in the frost and everything, these terracotta pots. There's like a huge pile of them, all different sizes. So I'll have fun having a rummage through that. And then here we are. So what I've discovered is this side of the shed, which I thought would be the case, is pretty rotten. You can see down there. Obviously there's a hole there and right down there, and you know, obviously all the tree roots will be growing under it. I think that's why it's lopsided, and then there's a lot of damage on the roof. However, I still think it's a pretty solid base to begin with. I mean, it's wood, it's solid wood that it's been made from. It's been a good quality shed, and I have got hopes that I can patch it up and make it usable. all these tree stumps. So the only one I'm a bit worried about is this one, because it's connected to this tree. So I'll just need to keep on top of the small saplings coming through and just prune it to make sure that we don't get any more side shoots coming off and that it just grows up as one tall tree. These ones, I'm assuming these are all individual trees, and I'll be drilling holes into these and putting Epsom salt and sealing them over to kill the stumps. So these juniper trees here that I've cut down should not come back. And it opens up a bit of a space so that now I can kind of see what's going on. There's been a brick wall here. I'm guessing to mark out a pathway along the side of the shed. You can see in there the wall where the raised the cord frames have been, and there, that pile, I don't know if you can see it in there, those are all the frames for the cold frames. They are going to be completely useless now. That wood has rotted right through, but I'm wondering if when I get in to clear them, if maybe the glass is intact, the original glass. If so, that'd be great, because then it means like all I need to do is build some wooden frames for the original glass, and that opens up this. I am going to take down a few more branches, not tonight. I'm exhausted. Genuinely exhausted. And look at that gorgeous sunset. If it wants to focus, yeah, they're beautiful. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done for one night. It is getting there, slowly but surely, but very, very slowly. It's a lot of wood that now needs chipped and moved and cut up and moved and chipped. This task is definitely not for the faint-hearted. I wonder if anyone else has started a flower farm or any kind of farm, anything similar to this from scratch, from such a difficult plot, because I think most of the people that I've seen, well, they're really great, really informative, and I've learned a lot from YouTubers, farmers and flower farmers. I haven't seen anyone do anything quite like this, and I was just wondering if anyone had any tips. I mean, I have no idea what the ground is like, what's underneath it. I can't even get to it yet. There's just tree debris everywhere. Do I burn it all? Once I've chipped everything, should I burn it all? Burn the ground? Burn everything down? Should I cover it like I did at the allotment? Bring around the plastic, just cover over everything as much as possible, weigh it down, leave it for a year? Or should I cut it all down, try and clear as much of it by hand as possible and build the ground up where it's uneven? I don't know. If you've got any advice or tips, let me know. And then the next thing is I need to figure out this fence that needs to go in. I need to save and raise about £900, which is my first major expense. And then the next major expense is going to be the chipper, or maybe the other way around. Maybe chipper first, then fence. Okay, so I haven't got much battery left, so I haven't filmed what I've been doing. But but I'll do a little update. So this is the brambly section. I mean, there's a lot of brambly sections down here, but this is the main one because it's stopping me from being able to put in the fence, and it's stopping me from getting to those trees at the back there. This is what has been moved already. As you can see, it is a real tangle of brambles. All I'm doing is using secateurs and trying to get in and cut away as close to the bottom as possible, and then using these gloves that are actually not the best at withstanding brambles, and yank them out. Yeah, it's another long old job, but it's getting there. This is actually going faster than I thought it would when I first started it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to take me days, if not a week, to get through. But I've done from here, and that's taken me about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So that's not bad going. I mean, my aim is to, by the weekend, have a full path all the way to the wall there, at least. So I think I can get that done, and then I think the rest of the brambles that are over here, even though I didn't want to, I think I'm just gonna weed kill them. I think I'm literally gonna weed kill them, and then once they're dead, try and rip them out or something, because yeah, that's going to be a bit too much of a job to do by hand when I've got everything else to do. But now you can see kind of where the boundary is going to be. So this fence post here is the marker, and it will go all the way down there. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a fairly big, I say fairly big, it's not. I've been doing Roz's online seed to vase course, and everyone on there has got, like, who's trying to do it commercially, has got like a third of an acre, or, you know, half an acre, or 2 acres, or 5 acres. This plot in total is 0.06 of an acre. So yeah, it's like not even nowhere near what other people are working with, but I still have hope. And from this angle, it's starting to look a lot clearer. You can actually begin to see the plot as a whole. And on top of that, I have this amazing old brick wall to work with, which, you know, I have it in my garden and it retains the heat really well. So I'm hoping that some plants and some flowers that maybe struggle a little bit, I can get in near the wall, and it will be like a nice little warm microclimate there, and I might get some better crops. But for my last bit of battery, I will prop you up. You're gonna have a look at me stab myself 1,000 times with some brambles. I'm going to call it a day today. So I'm through to here. Yeah, all of that's going to need cleared. And then you cut down all those trees, because when I get the things delivered for the fence, it's probably going to have to be dropped off on a pallet. So what I'm going to have to get them to do is to clear that section there that's a little bit clear, drop the pallet there, have a proper pathway through here so that I can bring the stuff out and down and build the fence, which is another job in itself, because I think this was a brick pathway. So I've tried digging a little bit, and when I get at least like 4 or 5 inches down, I'm hitting brick straight away. So that's gonna have to be a bridge that I cross when I come to it. Here, like, a lot of these brambles are dead, and they're a lot smaller now, so I could pull them out, but there's all this rubbish. So there's like a massive glass window there that's gonna have to be moved. Oh god, and there's glass on top of that. I'm thinking my best bet now that I've cleared this side, is to go in through that fence panel and just tackle it this way out, so that the glass door, I can move over there onto that pile of rubbish, glass door, glass window, and all the other bits of glass over there, I can move over there, because I'm not going to be dealing with that for now. And then at least clear this space, and then clear the path this way, so coming towards, and this should be clear enough. I mean, this now isn't really brambles. There's a few brambles in there, but it's mostly, I think, weeds, old weeds and nettles. So that should be pretty easy just to flatten down. And then that will leave the rest, that bramble patch there. But I mean, I might not weed kill it. I might try and tackle it after I've done the fence. Once I've done the fence and I've wood chipped all the wood and everything, then I might just try and pull out the brambles by hand, like I've done here. So now I'll get across here. So I'm going to show you the next main phase, and I'll do a really nice picture to show them all, but here's a few that I haven't taken around. I found an absolute treasure trove of terracotta pots. Fortunately, loads of them are broken, especially the really big ones, which is sad, but look at these. And I counted them all, and I think there is, if I remember rightly, 137 terracotta pots that I've rescued. And so if we go up here, now that we're starting to get some cold weather, things are starting to die off, and you can start to see the space a little bit more. So my plan, walk over all this rubbish to begin with. Now, out falling and dying. You can see that gap in there. Look at that. That's nearly a piece of ground that could be dug over and used. Not quite, but nearly. So I have a lot of black plastic left from my allotment, so I'm going to bring a piece round and I'm going to put it down there in that corner, and all this wood, all of these branches and the stuff that I've cut down, and as much of it as humanly possible, I'm just going to get a wood chipper I'm probably going to spend 2 days solid wood chipping. I mean, it's probably going to be a humongous mound of wood chips, but that's fine because I love wood chips. I've got them all over the paths at my allotment, and I also use them in the soil if the soil's not great, to add organic matter, because they will eventually rot down. So yeah, all these trees will come down, and then anything that's left, and things like the brambles and the weeds and that, I think I'm going to burn in a burn barrel, which luckily I saved myself a little bit of money because I don't need to buy one, because there is an old burn barrel in this shed. There we go. Drag that out. I think that's an old petrol rotavator. I doubt it will work. And as you can see, this shed needs a lot of work. It's solid. I'll give it that. But I think I can do something with it. But yeah, so everything else will be burnt. So wood chipped and burnt. Hopefully that will give me some sort of ground. This I'm not looking forward to dealing with. Any ground that is solid or any ground that is level or nearly level is going to get covered with plastic, and then the rest of it I'll have to see what I'm gonna have to do with it. I didn't film all the wood chipping because I was a bit nervous setting it up, and I didn't know how it was going to go, if I was going to completely take my hand off and I didn't want that on video, and then I just got carried away. But this is a lot of wood chips. Oh, focus, there you go. A lot of wood chips, and it's good wood chips. It hasn't made much of a dent, I'm going to be honest, in the amount of stuff that there is to wood chip. So I've taken from back here. See a little bit of the wood's gone from there. Took a few from there. So yeah, this part of the process is definitely going to take longer than I expected. I think you're looking at weeks, probably months. So my original plan was to try and get all of the wood chipping done in one go. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that now. I think the best I'm going to get done, I'm not going to be able to do that now. I think the best that I'm going to get done is working on it section by section. So what I'll do is I'll just clear, say, at the back there first, wood chip all of that, and then once I've got a section done, I will put plastic down, and what I'll do is the branches and the trunks that are too big to go through the chipper, because you can only chip up to 4.5 centimetre wide branches, that I'll use to weigh down the plastic on the plot, and then I'll think of something to do with it. I'm thinking of if I get that shed renovated, or maybe get a new shed, I don't know, but either way, if I have a shed, think about putting a little wood burner in it, so it might be nice, might just season off all of the large branches and trunks and save them for firewood.